Hi there, welcome. This is Vince of vinceprep.com and Agos Admissions Consulting, talking about application data forms for Harvard Business School, also Stanford. I'm going to talk about Harvard in this case, but the question is the same. Stanford also asks for your key accomplishments. Now, this is inside the application data form, so people don't think of it as an essay, but you really should. It's very short, 250 characters, but that's half as long as your goal, and I think it's probably, honestly, twice as important as what you say you're going to do after MBA is what you've already done. I honestly believe that your professional achievements to date are the absolute most critical thing in Harvard deciding to interview you or not. How should you choose key accomplishments? So first of all, make sure it's more than one. Most likely these are things that are also in your resume. My advice is basically to choose a mix of stories. I'm reading a lot of essays now for Harvard because I'm helping people prepare for the interview, and I'm very relieved to see that people are following Dee Leopold, the now departing admissions director. This is her last season. She says in their admissions officer blog that I assume she's been writing. We'll see once she's gone if the tone changes. I love her blog. And she basically says we look forward to a lot of variance. She doesn't want to see the same essay over and over again. And I can tell you with confidence, but I'm not going to show you the essays, obviously, but I'm seeing a lot of variance. Some are as short as 1 page, and I just read one that was 10 pages long. This guy's a rock star, and I honestly think it's a little too long, but I enjoyed reading it, and obviously they did too, and the length of his essay alone was not a deciding factor in him not being invited to interview, and obviously at the interview, or not obviously, but my advice for him in the interview training that we're doing right now is be concise. Prove that you can be concise when necessary. He chose not to be in the essay, but it's a good story. Here, you have to be concise, 250 characters. My point about mentioning the essays is that the essays that I'm seeing for those invited to interview show a lot of variation. And here again, with your key accomplishments, my suggestion is to choose a mix of stories, 3 different kinds of stories. And I'll talk in my next video about what kinds of stories I suggest you brainstorm. When you work with an Agos admissions consultant, we want to see several options. In this case, I think in the end, most of my clients include 3 stories. And when you're sharing your options with your Agos admissions consultant, who's hopefully also the person who helped you make your resume, I suggest you show a mix of stories that show 3 core skills. The skills being drive, teamwork, and leadership. So drive is basically getting results. So show that you have a results orientation, that you can execute and make things happen. That's a big part of leadership. Second, I suggest you choose a story or share a story anyway, or 1 or 2 stories that demonstrate your ability to work well in teams, uniting diverse groups of people. Functionally diverse or culturally diverse people is a very important skill at business school. So you might choose an accomplishment that demonstrates that ability to lead teams or work in teams when you're not the leader. And finally, leadership. When have you convinced others to do mission critical tasks that they at first did not want to do? When have you done, and to use Stanford's phrase, when have you done ordinary things extraordinarily well? So those are the 3 kinds of stories I and my team at Agos want to see when we're helping you ultimately narrow it down to decide the 2 or 3, maybe 4 accomplishments that you're going to include in this question, which is a very important question in the application data forms. That's it. I wanted to keep this one short, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. As always, please subscribe to my YouTube channel for the latest updates. Subscribers are the first to know when I've made a new video. In the meantime, best of luck with your applications, and bye for now.
We on a world tour with my man, going each and every place with the mic in their hand. Chinatown, Spokane, London, Tokyo.